Hello and welcome to the Dogon podcast, everybody. Today we are going to talk about some bullshit.
Yeah.
Just anything we're thinking about.
Yeah. Shoot from the hip. You guys seem to like those the best, and maybe it's just because it's like a conversation. I was talking to a young lady, and she said that she falls asleep with podcasts on. And
I know a lot of people that just like to listen to them in the background whenever they're working or, doing whatever.
Yeah, and she actually said she wakes up sometimes talking back, like answering their questions.
No.
I thought that was so funny. Like, she's just like talking to Joe Rogan, and but I don't know.
Sleep talking, but I don't know. I used to enjoy a lot of podcasts before starting one myself, but I don't know. It's interesting. I've never really been in a position like this. It's really strange becoming somebody when you're nobody,
Ooh, that's a great statement. And first off, Tristan ain't a nobody. Tristan has always been a somebody, and he always will be. I think that's one of the big things that people lose focus of is like they think that they're going to be something better in the future if certain things go positive.
And the craziest part is I thought I'd be like, I don't know, somehow different whenever I got to like this point right now, but I'm still the same person.
Yeah. And that's, you want to make sure that as you go through different parts of your life and as you are elevating certain parts of your life, you have to find a way to change and bring in new information in order to be able to handle new stuff that you're presented with.
Right.
And I know a lot of times people, very successful people will achieve their goals and get where they want to be, and then they'll be just as unhappy as they were when they started. And that's like when you have a destination or a situational based happiness, where it's like, when I am a CEO of a $1 million company, life's going to be great. And then you get there and you're like, man, I'm still upset about the same stuff. I'm still mad about the same, I'm still struggling with the same shit. And it's like, man, and it's because like you have to, like our shirts say, you have to raise your level when in personal life when you're doing that exteriorly. But there's also this, it's called imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Where you're like, it's like, it's an interesting place to be, because we are not some huge business owners, and we're not some world-renowned, supplement manufacturer,
Right. We are two people who decided we wanted to create, first off, the Dogon Go Pack, and then from then we just wanted to create like a brand, basically just around Dogon and health and wellness, and then after that just branch out into whatever.
Tons of different areas. And so it's like, it gets weird because we are not sitting here saying that we are these master brand builders. We're not sitting here saying that we have this all figured out. And we know that.
We're figuring it out, but we haven't figured it out.
And a lot of you guys know that as well. You watch us, you can see some of our episodes, especially our beginning ones.
Yeah, if you go in the back, the first ones, they're not great, but
Yeah, and it's like our big thing was like, well, we'll just bury the bad ones. We'll just keep going and we'll bury the bad episodes.
That's kind of how everybody does it, and that's kind of how you grow.
Yeah.
You refine the process, you keep going, and you learn, this is kind of shitty, let's do it this way instead. Or this is kind of shitty, let's do it this way instead.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh man, that's shitty, or let's go back to that way, or let's figure it's like, damn. But that imposter syndrome is because you get confused, because you have to personify this person who is a successful business owner and brand builder, and all we're doing is pointing to where we want to go and where we want to be. Right. And sometimes we get lost in like saying like that's who we are, and it's not.
A lot of my issues from being on camera is I try to be someone I'm not, I guess. Amen. And I don't know, I should just drop that. I'm just going to be me.
Yeah, and it's like people respond to that better because it's authentic, And
I've learned that, and I don't know, it's just people want to see a real human, not some fucking robot.
Yeah. And it's like, and again, it's that battle of like, I'm saying I'm doing this, but I'm still fucking up every day with what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm saying that we're going to do this, but I've been trying to do this for the last week, and I just haven't been able to. And it's like, and so you get upset with yourself, like, man,
it kind of builds and builds, and you just feel like shit, and you just I don't know, it just goes down and down.
Yeah, and you
fix it.
Exactly. And you're like, I'm a fraud, you know, and I feel that all the time because I don't want to misrepresent like, hey, we got this all figured out. But there's no positive in me, you know, communicating that I, you know, all these little aspects that I'm breaking down on, that I'm not doing good on. Because again, this isn't about like telling you guys who we are. This is about telling you who we're becoming. You know, right. And it's like I have to step aside from that and be like, no, you're not an imposter. You are just saying it before you see it.
Right. I mean, you have to. Yeah. I mean, you have to say things. You know, keep. You know, even if you don't do it yet, like I don't know. I'll give an example. Like, say you want to work out every day and you don't do that, but you're gonna say like, oh, I work out every single day. Eventually, you know, you're going to work out every single day because you keep saying it.
Yeah.
You're going to feel bad if you don't.
Yep. Because you're going to have it in your mind that I'm somebody who works out every day.
You can actually do that with anything mentally, like say social anxiety or something like that. Just don't give a fuck. Like, I know you're not going to just not give a fuck the first day. Like, that sounds retarded, but
no, it's dead on, because you have to, you start somewhere, and that's where the imposter syndrome first takes seed, because the first day that you're like, I'm somebody who easily communicates with others.
Yeah, because I remember I used to have pretty bad social anxiety, but there was just one day in my head that it just clicked. I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, and it's probably because you put yourself out there a few times, you know, over and over again, or you built relationships with certain people that you knew, and you expanded those. And then it got to a point where you no longer felt like an imposter, but you felt like a beginner who actually has the skills and understanding, and you're just working it out.
Right.
You know, but yeah, that's a challenge. I saw another podcast. I think it was George from what's his name, from Jake Paul's podcast or whatever.
I don't know, but go on.
Yeah, I can't remember what that is. But he was talking about how he's on like this big faith journey, and he's like, you know, going towards God, and he's like, man, people are coming up to me and saying, oh, you're so amazing, you're so wonderful, and he's like, no, I'm not. I'm still struggling with the same shit. I'm still not doing the right thing. I'm still, you know, saying this is what we should do, and then I do this. I'm still saying we shouldn't judge others, and I judge this person. I'm still saying that, you know, and he's like, it just makes me feel like shit. It makes me feel bad. And I really connected with that, because it's like that imposter syndrome is hard. It's a balance between, you know, saying who you're going to become, and then modeling that in a, you know, it's like, imagine if you could do what you're supposed to do. You know, you sometimes you can do really well in an area, like you can get yourself to focus and boom, 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 you know, for a short period of time. Imagine if you could do that, what you can get yourself to focus for a short period of time, all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just getting to that point, but you're fighting against programming of your entire life, you know. I don't know, have you ever read about neuroplasticity?
No, what is that?
Neuroplasticity is a concept or understanding of how your brain associates new thoughts and creates new neural pathways. Or for like when your brain fires, you know, they say like when you have a thought, boom, 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 it like makes a groove in that, so it's easier to think that way. And so like most people don't realize is that you have a ton of grooves in your thought process right now.
I guess you could think of it like a habit, or like, you know, something you do every day.
Yeah.
But it can be something you think every day that can turn into action.
Exactly. And it's like, you know, sometimes you know, when you're trying to do something new, you get all these negative feelings, or you get upset, or you feel, you know.
Like, I don't know how to do this. I'm never going to figure this shit out. You know.
And you're like, fuck this, I'm not doing, and it's like, it's not because it's not what you're supposed to be doing, it's because your brain has like a groove where the water's trying to flow.
It's just something new that you don't know yet, so there's uncertainty, and uncertainty scares people.
Big time. And it, you know, it's because your brain is set up to like protect you and keep everything the same, and, you know, keep you breathing and keep you.
Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to know what happens, and you're not going to be scared of what happens, because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And so you have to go into that unknown, and then you have to convince yourself over and over again that like, yeah, this is going to work, or this is how it's supposed to go. And it's like, that's a lot more challenging than you think.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you can say it to yourself a bunch, but it's hard.
Yeah. And I know for me, I'm big on writing it down on 3x5 cards and reading it 3 times a day.
I like my Remarkable. I've been using that thing a lot.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, that thing really does help.
Especially in my, other job, like doing counts and shit. Like that makes it so easy.
There you go. Yeah, and if you guys have never heard about it, it's like a remarkable tablet. It's meant to be like writing on paper. It's so cool.
I would recommend it. Well, it's expensive, but if you have the money, I recommend it to anybody that writes a lot.
Yeah. If you write a lot, it'll pay itself off probably in like the next 5 years with how many notebooks and pads you'll buy. But but it is like a $600 investment.
It's a huge time paper saver.
Oh yeah, big time, big time. And I used to be somebody who had different papers and notes and notebooks all over.
And you can, one of the coolest things is you can get different templates, and I think you can get some online too, right?
Yeah. You can even make your own.
You can.
Yeah, and then you upload a PDF to it. And
I need to do that.
Yeah, I know. I got my own like daily routine thing I've written out, and I'd love to like make it as a template, But that'd be cool if we made a Dogon template for Remarkable.
Oh yeah. I want to do a bunch of stuff for Remarkable. I just enjoy it. It's a cool product.
Well, that's a cool little shift that we can do as we're building this. Imagine if we were able to give all of our followers, all of our listeners, like, the best Dogon journal pages.
Yeah.
Like for a small business owner.
I think eventually we're going to do a Remarkable giveaway once we have some money.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I'm down on that.
When you guys can get one.
Yeah, because it really does change the game as, it elevates your level of professionalism, first off.
Right.
Like
and we're not sponsored by them at all yet, but if you want to,
Yeah, you guys can always reach out. We love our, our current Remarkable tablets.
I just like to prop out items and things that I enjoy myself.
Amen. And I don't have a keyboard for my Remarkable if you guys are watching.
Me neither, but
just saying, type folio might be cool to pop in. But anyways,
I didn't know that was a thing, but it does sound cool.
Yeah, they got the type folio where you can that's what like the folio.
Yeah, the thing, and it has a look. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. When I saw that, I was like, I need that.
It is neat,
and it's like I like the writing part, and I probably would write more. But it would be fun just to be able to take notes sometimes.
Just to be able to do that.
Yeah. But I don't know why, but it just sounds cool. And like they have some other cases and stuff. I think it'd be cool to have a couple different skins or something. But hopefully we can come up with a Dogon packs or a Dogon insert. And man, that would just be so cool.
Yeah, like or one of those little folios.
Yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, so we're, and maybe we'll put a link, in the description here where you guys can get a Remarkable, just because if you are somebody who's heard about it or you've never heard about a digital book that stores thousands or millions probably of pages of notes,
right?
I mean, it's the coolest thing. And you got all the different ways you can write, all the different stuff.
Yeah, it has like different pens, different fonts, it has everything. I don't know, it's just cool. Look into it.
I will say the calligraphy pen is not accurate to what I'm. Yeah, I'm a calligrapher.
I've never used it, so I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like calligraphy I'm used to is like a 45-degree angle at the top line, so that when you pull certain ways.
But it's digital, so
so it's just like it's more of just like a thick and thin type of marker, but that changes based off pressure or direction.
Yeah,
but
I could never use a fucking I can't even say the word.
Dude, you know how long it took me to be able to spell calligraphy when I'd write it in calligraphy? Because you're like focused on writing so much, and I'd fucking spell it wrong every time. I'm like, gosh darn it.
Yeah, I can't even say the word, apparently.
It's one of those words where it's like, is that real? Like, if you say calligraphy over and over again, you're like, what is a calligraphy?
What the hell is that?
Like, is that like, is that like
is that a fake word?
I don't know. For some reason, I just thought it was like a buoy in the middle of the ocean.
Could be.
There's a calligraphy on the port side. I don't know. Like, that's just
possible.
Doesn't sound like a form of writing, but my actual favorite form of creative writing is copperplate. I'm not good at it.
What is that?
It's like this old style of writing, this old font. Because like before computers, believe it or not, the world had different fonts, which is weird to think about. Like there was Old English, there was New English, there's all these different fonts that people wrote in.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that. I thought like everybody just wrote.
I mean, does cursive and all that count?
Yeah, I think cursive would be considered a font. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but
it would be.
Yeah, right. I don't know why I said I think it would be. Yeah, of course it would.
Yeah.
I've never.
I mean, that is weird to think about that there's fonts without keyboards and shit, but
like without Word. There's somebody
actually had to draw it out. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're like, write this in copperplate, and some guy's like, and they're like, do this one in Old English calligraphy, and he's like, you know, like newspapers and shit. And then they'd like chisel that into metal to stamp it onto the newspaper. And it's like, that's where fonts came from. And then they had like all those, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, but I've never thought about that before until right now.
Yeah, me neither.
It's kind of wild. But yeah, I mean, you know, things evolve and things change, just like we've seen fonts change and the way of writing change. I do think there is some value in actually physically writing, though.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why.
I'm not good at it, and it looks like chicken scratch, but the more I do it, the better I get. So,
hey, you know what that means?
What?
If you got chicken scratch, like really shitty fucking handwriting, is it really bad?
Not terrible. You can read it.
Did you hear how he said not like he wanted to say terrible, but he's like, I don't know if it is.
I mean, it's a lot of people make fun of me for it. So how about that?
Well, perfect. That means that you have doctor's handwriting. You know that?
That's true.
Yeah, doctors. I don't know if you've ever seen doctor. They're like,
no, and that is true because I've seen my own doctor have terrible handwriting. It's crazy.
I've never seen a doctor with good handwriting.
I don't understand why, but maybe they use their hands too much. I don't know.
No, I don't know, but that's like a real thing. Like if you Google like what profession has the worst handwriting, you're going to see doctors. It's just weird.
I know about that, but I don't know why.
I know. I never thought about it until now, but that is just weird that they just have bad handwriting. Yeah, it's just how they operate. You know, I'll tell you guys an embarrassing story about myself when I was younger. I used to, you know, I'm kind of aloof, you know, in a lot of ways. I think very quickly, but I miss a lot of details. And I'm usually good at catching those details, you know, before I look like too much of a moron or an idiot or unprepared. But I used to always do my homework really well, and I would just not put my name on it. Like
I used to do that too.
Like the name was on top. It's like the first thing, but somehow I just miss it because I'm like right into the work, I guess.
I feel like I used to be very undetailed, but like somewhere in my life, I just like gained that weird trait in my brain. I don't know. Like I overanalyze everything and somehow usually gain every detail of what I'm trying to obtain.
Yeah, and that's something I still have not been good at. I mean, I'm detailed in some areas.
I'm not trying to like toot my own horn. It's just something I notice.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you catch little things all the time. Your ability to pick stuff up real quickly is a fucking huge skill. Like,
which I don't like to tell people because it sounds like I'm just tooting my own horn again. But
yeah, but it's just you're just communicating. But what would always happen to me in class was the teacher would be like, I'm sorry, but some young lady did not put their name on their paper. It's really nice handwriting. It's probably a young lady. And I'm like, that's me. Thank you.
Actually, I brought a woman over one day, and you had your whiteboard out. And she was like, is that a woman's handwriting? See, no, that's Alex.
I know that's true, too. And it's like, I used to get so upset. When I was younger, I'd be like, I'd get like so mad. And then one day I was just like, whatever, I'm over it. Like, you know, but yeah, I write like a woman, I guess.
I can't remember who it was in the meat room or when I used to work at Sam's Club in the meat department. My boss, Scott, he had shitty ass handwriting. Everybody else had shitty ass handwriting. Somebody came in and they wrote on the board with like perfect handwriting, like, which woman in here got hired, man? I don't know. I haven't hired a single woman.
It was me leaving a note. It was me leaving a note.
I think it actually might have been you.
Yeah, it was. It was in the top corner. I used it was either red or blue mark. I can't remember now but yeah.
It just reminds me I love Scott. If you're listening, I love you, man.
Yeah, man. That guy is a G. I was going to say was, but now he's a real G. He got shot.
Oh yeah, he got shot. He's just like Trump.
Yeah,
man.
Dude. He's in that I've been shot club.
Yeah. Man. I wonder what he thought about that whole shooting incident.
He probably PTSD. It was probably like, I've been there. You know, but like Scott, dude, that motherfucker, he did it just like Trump, though. He chased the guy down. He gets shot.
Didn't give a damn.
You know, like they say, if you get bit by a snake, do you go and chase the snake down to take your anger out, or do you go to the hospital? And everyone's like, you go to the hospital. And it's
he was like, I was sitting there huffing and puffing, angry as fuck, just
chasing him.
Chasing him down.
Did he have a gun on him?
No, he said if he did have a gun, he would have probably not been alive that day.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe
I think he would have fucking killed him. But
yeah. But at the same time, like, he didn't have a gun and he pursued him. So like he could have not been alive that day either.
He also said if he caught him, he would have probably died.
Yeah. I mean, that guy he goes beyond gentleman and a scholar. I'll tell you that much. He's the man, the myth, and the legend, I think.
That man will die for you if you're a good person, you know?
I think he would die for you even if he didn't like you.
That's true.
I honestly think, you know, I don't know.
He does have it, like, it's hard to see it from the outside perspective, but he has a heart down deep inside.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like
it's all calloused, and there's a big wall behind it, but it's down there.
A lot of fuck yous and dip and chew, but but yeah, I mean,
funny stories about his penis.
But wife loves to blow money. You guys can ask him about that one if you ever. Maybe we'll bring Scott on here one day. That'd be funny.
I wish.
That'd be funny as hell.
I hope he would be down for that.
Yeah, we got to send him this clip and make him famous. You know, like, yeah, that guy's a real. He's like a real man's man, old fashioned type of guy with like a level of new age understanding that that only comes from somebody. He's a small business owner as well, and so that only comes from somebody who it's like when it's all on their back and it's all up to them.
I don't think I've ever worked for somebody that I respect more. So
amen. I've worked for a lot of really good people, but yeah, he's definitely on that list. He's a phenomenal guy. But yeah, so and he's somebody who is authentic and he's real, and you got to like go through you have to kind of look through. But see, I don't know. Okay, now that I say that, maybe he's not as authentic as I think, because he does put out this bravado of strength and this closed off, I don't give a fuck about you.
He gives a fuck about a lot of people that he doesn't like to admit, but he's just a man.
Yeah, and I didn't know if the guy really liked me. I still don't know, but
he does.
Oh hell yeah! But I was gonna say I had this feeling though, even if he didn't like me, he still had my back.
He was sad when you left.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, he obviously doesn't give a fuck too much about anything, but
yeah, the guy
I could tell it. He wasn't happy about it.
Yeah. Well, he was left with a couple interesting.
He actually almost fought Brad over that situation, I think.
Yeah, no, I could tell the animosity of that, but that's why I was just like, guys, look, I got I got my own things going on outside of this. It came down to this thing where like they wanted me to say like this forklift guy was like like driving at me and was like getting in my face and like going to attack me.
I don't understand why they decided to just fire you for.
They didn't. No, I said they were like, if you don't write this statement, if you don't do this, you're going to be you're going to be done. I said, I told you guys.
I consider that firing because.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's one of those ultimatum situations.
Yeah.
But I told them very clearly, and that they said those things because like I didn't care about that job. Like I was there because I just moved down.
But at the same time, if I don't want to fucking go and snitch on this motherfucker, I'm not going to, and I shouldn't have to.
Yeah. I was taught very young: snitches, good stitches. Shut your mouth. And so for me, I told them, I was like, because they kept talking to me about it, like, hey,
I didn't get hurt, doesn't matter.
Exactly. Like I'm not some snowflake. I just when this guy's trying to
if come up. Like jabbed me with a forklift thing or something, I'd be singing a different tune, but fuck this guy.
And the thing is this guy came on a little too strong and was like all in my face, and he realized it. Like there was a moment where he like calmed himself down, and then he was like, fuck, I went off on this kid. I should not have done that. So then he was trying to formulate this story against me to be like, he did this, he did that. And I was just like, I ain't saying shit.
And that guy's just a guy that's been working his job. He's fucking frustrated. He's had a shitty ass day probably. He's had a shitty ass week even. I don't know.
He's got a family. He's got bills to pay.
I don't want to fucking ruin this guy's job. He hasn't really done much to me physically or mentally or anything.
It's not even his fault the way it's set up there. It's set up for people.
My God.
I mean, it's the dumbest, unsafest
thing. The box crusher is right next to where all the forklifts go right by. So people are putting in boxes and there's a forklift going right behind you at all times.
With 6 pallets of Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not a safe environment, and it's like the dumbest.
Actually, there's an extremely. You could either move the box crusher like fucking 15 feet, or you could set the pallets up to where there's a road on the other side. But I don't know. They're just dumb. They don't care.
I took the time to like draw it all out, and they just like didn't even look at it.
There's many people that have brought it up to them, but it's like, I mean, talking to corporate or talking to management there is like talking to a brick wall. So
even the original corporate layout, the box crusher wasn't there.
I believe
it was around the corner.
They just do things and don't have any insight or feedback and don't care about feedback.
Yeah. So for me, that they knew the reason that Brad guy, whatever his name was, said, like if you don't do this, you're going to be done, is because I told him, because they kept bringing it up to me, and I was like, guys, it's over, it's done, like it's over, it's fine, everyone's good, just everyone leave it alone. Like it's not something that needs to be talked about.
It's like I don't want to fucking. It's like if I don't want. I mean, you're not pressing charges, but technically, if I don't want to press charges, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, and it was like, so drop it. And then I said, if you guys talk to me about this one more time, if you bring this up to me one more time, I'm done. I will walk out of these doors happy as can be because I'm not playing this game. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna put something on. I'd rather have something on my corporate file or whatever. The video speaks for itself. What happened there speaks for itself. It's like I didn't care enough. I just when there was started to be additional aspects and sensationalized aspects added against me because I wouldn't talk, and then they're trying to be like, well, he's saying this, and if you don't say your part, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Simply doesn't matter. But
so Scott knew. He was like apologizing to me on the way, and I was just like, hey man, I just and I was like, just if they bring this up again, and I know that's what this means about, if they tell me that I have to write this statement down or do this, I'm gonna walk out. And he was like, I understand. And he was cool. He was cool as hell about it.
No, yeah. I mean, you could tell him anything, and it wouldn't change his opinion about you unless it was, But
yeah. But yeah. So man, maybe we can get him on one day. That's just funny. That he is a good guy for sure. But yeah. So guys, just to give you a quick update, our packs are like 4 days away right now.
Yes.
3 days away and 4 days. And once we get those in, all you pre-orders are going to get yours delivered right away. And that 20% off site-wide is probably going to...
Yeah, we're going to cut it as soon as it gets here, except for our Alpha Pack members. So if you get it beforehand, you're going to still have a discount on your...
overall order and...
On your future orders, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because you'll be locked in as an Alpha Pack member. So every new product we come out with, you'll get a free one, a free sample of it. So that's going to make a...
I was thinking about doing like a little 10% on anybody that is a Alpha Pack member for lifetime. Or
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Just because, I don't know, give a little more incentive.
And so you guys, like, this is literally how our company develops. Like, that's the first time that we've talked about that, and we're just going to do it. It's like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that.
I don't know, I think it's a good idea.
Maybe we should we do like 15% off for Alpha Pack members and then 10% off for YouTube subscribers.
Okay.
Because you know what I mean?
Good. Yeah.
Because I love our YouTube subscribers. You guys are just crushing it out there for us, man.
So I guess on our YouTube page, we'll have to, I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, maybe put like, or maybe we could, I don't know, how do we hide like a discount code or
I guess it could be at the end of videos or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Or like
watch all the way through.
Yeah. Or if like when they sign up, we just somehow add them directly to the list.
I have a good idea.
Yeah. I
will hide some discount codes in our videos at random points.
Yes.
So you guys can catch them if they're there.
Yeah, and we'll just like reset the code every once in a while or something.
Or like whenever somebody uses it, we'll know. So
yeah, then they'll just be flagged or not flagged, but it's like you put these tags on people when they take actions. Like for example, like if you go to our website right now and the pop-up still comes up where it's like, get your free t-shirt, become an Alpha Pack member. If that's still there, that means there's still spots available to become one of our first 100 Alpha Pack members.
Right.
And you're going to want that. We got plans to put out a silver, maybe even some gold inlay, different aspects to give you like a permanent go pack.
Yeah, it's going to be
quality.
Our founders pack.
Yeah. And I'm working with a metal casting company right now to get that developed, and they were like, oh yeah, we can do that easy. And they even talked about doing like stainless on the inside and like silver on the outside. And I was like, man, that sounds sweet. That sounds awesome. But
yeah, I don't know. It's going to be sick, and it's going to be something you can have for life, really. I mean, if it breaks, we'll replace it for you.
I don't know why. I kind of want to call it a slammer, and you probably don't know what pogs are. Okay, so back in the day, there was this game where you had like these little pogs. They're like looked like poker chips, and you had really light plastic ones, and they each had a different symbol on each side, and then you had slammers that were like thick and heavy. And you'd stack up your pogs and you slam your slammer down on them. Like somebody else would stack up their stack and you'd slam your slammer down, and it would like blow up the stack. And any ones that landed a certain way, you get to keep. And so like people were like fighting for these pogs where it was basically like I get to keep these ones because they flipped over with my slammer, and like people had these like amazing slammers, these really good ones. And so when I think about our normal packs compared to like our founders packs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that thing's going to be a slammer.
Oh, yeah.
So if you guys remember Pogs, man, I just dated myself. But
yeah, I've never even heard of it.
Well, looking back, it's like why? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why did we do that? But it became a big thing. I don't know. It was kind of cool, but yeah, and just get excited, guys. We know that it's coming any day now, but it's not going to be a success without your involvement.
Right. We need feedback. We need people telling us what they want.
Yeah, we need people getting involved. We need people joining the pack. So go to dogonpacks.com and join up.
We'll see you later.
See you guys.